Hi, welcome to the first tutorial for Isometric House Designer. To get started, first you need to import Isometric House Designer from the Asset Store, and after that you go to Window and click on Isometric House Designer. This will open up the pop-up menu, the main menu for Isometric House Designer. That's a full thing to say. I'll just say House Designer from now. So after that you click on Create and click Create New. That'll instantly create a house, as you can see here. And when you click on randomize design, it'll create another house, and so forth and so on. Now this gives you access to unlimited number of house designs. Or to make sure that you get the perfect view, make sure that the scene is set to 2D, because if you set it to 3D it'll look weird. So we'll just leave it at 2D, and don't worry, everything can be exported to PNG file. So okay, I'm gonna get through some of the basics. Here we see the number of floors. Once you keep this toggle on, it says it's in random mode. But once you remove it, you can set to the maximum number of floors. Like if I want just one floor and click on randomize design, you see that it says created one floor. If I set to 10 floors, it's gonna create a skyscraper, like so. And this thing here, the maximum area, sets the maximum. Let me just show you what it does. If you click on randomize design, you just see one tower, right? That's because it's set to 1. If I set it to 10, it's gonna take up more space. And if I bring this number of floors to 1 and click on randomize design, it'll take a lot of space. If I bring down the maximum area to 1 and create, it'll just create one little house. And say I want the number of floors to be 4 and the maximum area to be 6. Now if I bring this up, you see the fixed number of floors come up. Now what that does is, see, in this house here, you see that one of the tower has more floors than the rest. But if I click on this, the fixed number of floors, and create again, then all the towers will be of the same height all the time. So that's what that thing does. I'm going to remove that and leave it at random. That way I get unlimited number of houses. Now check this out. If I click create new, shifted, create new, shifted, see, I'm getting a whole lot of houses in just under a minute or less. I don't know. If you're fast enough, you can create an entire city within 5 minutes. So I already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses in just a few clicks. I'm gonna delete these for now, and I'm just gonna work with one of them. So now what we need to do is bring this to 0. I'm gonna show you some few more things about the coloring. Okay, so this button here, the recolor, will randomly colorize the house. But if you don't want it to be randomly colorized, you can just remove this random color and you can set whatever color you want. Say I want the house walls to be greenish. But if I'm not sure about the roof color or the window color or the door color, I can just click on these toggles. These mean that they'll be set to random color. And if I click on recolor, the wall color stays the same. It stays green, but the rest of the colors, they'll change. Like as you can see, the door color down here. Okay, this is not the perfect house to be showing you this example, so I'll just change it for now and choose something else. Like, alright, let's choose this one. Now this has a lot of elements, so if I press on recolor, see, every time they change to something different. So except for the wall color, so the wall color is staying green, whereas the rest of the house is changing colors. Alright, that's that. Now this positioning thing, this color lightness thing, let me get that there. If I set it to random color and set the color lightness to 1, if I recolor it, it's gonna saturate the whole thing like anything. But if I bring it up, it's gonna desaturate. So generally houses don't look too saturated unless you want something colorful. So I'm just gonna leave it at 75 and recolor it to a random color. That looks great. Alright, so the positioning tool works by grid size. Let's say I create another house. Now you see these two are joined because it's moving as per the grid. So pretty self-explanatory how this thing works. there are arrows, just click and they'll shift. That's about it. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back. Say I don't like this window design, then I can just go back and go to edit, and from here I can click on this window and change it. It's as simple as that. And say I like this one, but I'm not sure about the door, then I can change it again. Oh, I'm sorry, I've set it to random color, that's why it's flipping all over the place. Make sure you don't make this kind of mistakes, so we'll just remove that and click on the door, and see all the doors are changing at once. But if I want to change just this door here, then I can just select the area, and as you change this, you see this L-shaped highlighter thing, it'll change. So I'm gonna make sure that it comes down here and then change this door. Now only this door is getting affected. So as you can see, all right, let's leave it at that. And by the way, when you change these things, sometimes some of the colors will change, like the roof color you see over here. That's unavoidable. I mean, it'll just change the shade, but some of the elements are set to do this by default. All right, now I'm gonna go back, and after you're done with your house design, you just go to export and click on save texture. Now, this might take some time depending on your processing power, your computer speed, and pretty much a whole lot of stuff. But once it's done, it'll save to a single .png file. And you can do pretty much anything you want with it. I mean, you can take it to Photoshop and add special, fine tunings and stuff like that, like shadows and all. Or you can just use it in whatever assets in whatever way you want. But the great thing is that once you do this, it'll just do just one draw call. So because the original design, this raw design, is set to work with lots of layers because it has a lot of elements. But once you export it to a single PNG file, it'll just take one draw call. Okay, it's done. Now, as you can see here, this thing the menu has completely changed. There's a few buttons here. But more importantly, I'm going to show you this folder here. Here's the prefab folder and the saved images folder. So here you can see that this little image here is in fact a PNG file. Now I'm going to show you this in column layout. See, that's an image file right there. So this thing has automatically been created according to your design, and the PNG file here is your original house design, which can be edited later on. Alright, we'll get back to that later. For now, I'm going to show you this part here. So right now it's set at full quality, which is somewhere more than 1000 pixels by 900 pixels. Now sometimes the game, it might be too heavy for the game, so you can reduce the quality. Say I want to reduce it to 1/3. I just click on that and click again to set it to 1/3 quality. Now you can see the difference here. This is at 1/3. So it's quite pixelated, but it'll look pretty good when it's far away. So I'm just gonna go close and set it to full quality again to show you the difference. See, 1/3 and full. And of course there's 1/4, which will be a whole lot more pixelated, and half. So this is 1/4, here's 1/3, half, and full. Now, when you click these things, you'll see that it automatically creates the 1/4, the 1/3, the half, and the full by default. Not by default, automatically creates it. So that's how it works. And when you click this, it's just a simple convenience for you. What it does is just takes these things and brings it up here to the sprite renderer section. But it's easier this way because you just have to click one button. And if you don't like it, you can just click X and it'll delete from the project as well. And let's go back. Now, here, remember the edit part where you used to be able to edit the windows and all that. After you export the house, supposing you want to change a certain element, you go to edit. Now, it's not going to be there. So what you have to do is click on make editable. And after that, you can change the things again. I mean, whatever element you want to change. Isn't that cool? Now, and of course you can recolor it or do whatever you want and then go back and export to a texture again. I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm just gonna go here And well, that's about it. That's Isometric House Designer. It's available on the asset store. Go and get it. It's pretty awesome. And thanks for watching this.